Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I haven't been in doing a lot of blogging lately. I've actually had a little operation or two operations, and so I had to put my work on hold a little bit. Anyway, it's lovely to be back, and I just wanted to say to everybody that, sometimes when things come along like this, it's basically a blessing in disguise if you have to rest or you're laid up or whatever, because often so many of us don't take time out of our lives and take the time to reflect and sit back and look on our life. I've had an enforced 4 weeks of sitting, not doing an awful lot, to be honest, apart from reading and also watching mindless TV and a few films, etc. But I didn't really feel well enough or in the right frame of mind to do the things that perhaps you think you'd like to do when you're not working, which is I'd like to do some more writing, get that novel again started, or do some plots and ideas for some stories or articles. And all of that sort of didn't really make me feel very motivated. And I just felt, you know what, I think that at this point in time, I'm just meant to be resting and relaxing. However hard it is, especially if you're someone like me that's constantly rushing about working, doing things and helping people, it's very difficult because you feel guilty about having to look after you. So I guess what I really want to say today is do notice signs and things that, and perhaps things coming into your life where it's making you stop. Sometimes we can have break a limb or get some form of illness, which is just saying to our body's saying to us, just slow down, just stop, take time out. I've heard this said so many times, and I just think, yeah, okay, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Everyone gets illnesses. Everyone gets diseases or has problems. But yes, I think often when you look back and reflect on those times, maybe it is a good way of getting your body to rest and relax. If someone told me that I had to sit down for 4 weeks and do nothing but rest and not to be able to do any housework, any driving, any cooking, cleaning, I just had to think about me, I'd probably throw my hands in the air and think, what? I'd never be able to do that. But you know what? That's what I've had to do. And often when we do this, things come along and we would not have noticed them if it hadn't been for the fact that we were resting and taking time out of our very busy lives. To me, I found and discovered a book which I downloaded on my Kindle, just thinking, oh, that'd be interesting, something to read, something out of the unusual or something out of the ordinary. And when in fact I read this book, it's given me huge insight and has given me a way forward to learning about a subject that I personally found very interesting. It's made me reflect on it. It's made me contact people who are local to me to find out more about it. And I do think that if I hadn't have been resting, hadn't have been taking time out of my life, I wouldn't have found that. And it really has been a most wonderful opportunity to look into something which I personally have found very inspiring and very exciting, let's say, for my future. And the other thing I've noticed as well is, I don't know whether people who work in spiritual matters would also agree with me, but because I have done a hell of a lot of meditation in my past and I teach meditation, I like my own silence. I like my own company at times. And I think this is very much to do with the spirituality way of life, the spiritual way of life, because ever since many years ago I got involved with it, I really found it most necessary, is what I want to say. Really, it was a necessary way of being, is to take the day or two and just be quiet and reflect, not have any music on, not have any TV on, not talk on the phone, not send text messages, all the all of those things that we do in an everyday life. But just take time out to reflect about and think about and be in your own silence. You know, I often find noise so intrusive. At times I like noise, I like music, I love music, I love people's company, but there are times when for me it's not something that I want around me at that particular day. So it's very good to be able to choose and have that option. And if you've never done it, try spending maybe a few hours if you can't face a day, and if you're at home, just being quiet and silent, just going about everything without the background noise of TV or the music or talking on the radio, whatever it is that you have on, and just enjoy that silence and that peace. And I have to say, it's very gratifying. It puts you in touch really with your inner self and your inner body and your soul, really. It's a lot of people can't do it. They feel that they have to fill every gap of silence with speech, and you don't have to. Some people really cannot bear the fact that there is a gap or silence in a conversation, and sometimes, you know, it's necessary. It's not always correct, I suppose, if you're in the middle of a conversation and someone's waiting for an answer, but don't feel that you've got to wait every time that someone says something and there's a little bit of a space, that you have to fill that gap, because you don't. And sometimes people like that space to be able to think and to listen and to perhaps mull over something. I think there's a difference in being quiet and liking your own space and having that time to yourself, let's say, than there is to people who are perhaps more introverted and sometimes depressed. It's a different type of silence and withdrawal. Sometimes you'll notice people get extremely withdrawn if they're depressed, and in fact actually speaking can be even an effort at any point. It's not that type of silence. It's a different way of coping and doing this. So I just wanted to say that my best ideas and my best spiritual connections come from times when I have spent quite a lot of time just being with my own personality, my own silence, my own company. So don't be frightened of it. And I do think that as a sensitive, that this is what happens. And you know, you do become more sensitive as you work in this more and have more experiences. So really, I suppose what I want to say today is, don't be afraid of silence. Don't be afraid of being on your own. You don't have to have rent a crowd around you all the time. You don't have to have company all the time. Just enjoy your own company and enjoy your own space on occasions. And I think that it helps me with my readings. It helps me with my own spirituality, and I hope it will yours. So do give it a try. And it's been lovely to speak to you all, and hopefully it won't be so long before I'm able to do another blog. So take care, everybody.